What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another one. And this one is Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 5 review. And as always, I am with my right hand. My right hand is on the trigger, my jigger, the king of the north, Mo Genie.
Woo! What's going on, folks? It's Moji, the king of the north. It's Mo Genie, baby. What's happening, Teflon? What's good with you?
Yeah, you know it is. Same day, rise and grind. That's the motto for people, you know what I mean? Rise and grind, people. Rise and grind. That's what my brother always be calling out, what he put up on Facebook every morning. So keep that in your head and you will do well, you know what I mean? Especially in the times that we are living in, troubled times right now. But we won't get into any of things like that because we are here to talk about Game of Thrones, about this episode. First off the bat, Mo Genie. Before I say that, what up to everybody in the chat? What up to everybody watching now and watching later? What up to all y'all? Mo Genie, what did you think about the episode? Overall opinion about this episode?
One of my favorite episodes. I say that every damn week. I don't know what to do because they just keep topping them week after week. D&D really stepped it up this season. There's such a big difference between this season and last season. Last season had filler episodes. This season, oh no. No filler episodes, one bit. They knock them out the park. Bing, 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 bow, man. What do you think, man?
No doubt. Now, this has been a controversial, and I hear a lot of other people talking and saying they weren't revealing the episode too much. I liked the episode. I thought it was a good episode. You know what I mean? I echo everything that Mo Genie just said. I do think this has been a very good season, half a season, or whatever you really want to call it, how you look at it. I really think they've done a good job. But when you're coming off the big-ass dragon battle, and you have to wind it back. You know what I mean? I think people want to just ramp it right back up. But when you're on a roller coaster, you don't go down the hill and then go down another hill. You just keep going down then, right? You got to slow it down and bring it back up before you get that next drop. And I think that's what this was right here. And I think doing that, they did a really good job on this episode. So we're going to take it right off the back. We see Jaime Lannister being pulled out of the water by Bronn. Now, in my Easter egg video, I said that Jaime Lannister was on a horse, and I was wrong about that 100%. I did not think it would be feasible for this guy to float down the river in all this armor and be pulled out by one man wearing a leather suit. So that is the reason why I said it, but obviously that is what happened here. Mo Genie, what did you think about that scene?
A lot of people did not like the opening scene. You could go see all the articles on Nerdist, on The Wire, on Gizmodo, Huffington Post. Nobody liked how quickly Jaime and Bronn got about the water because of last episode. We were left with Jaime looking like he was going to drown in his armor. And we didn't know who jumped in to save him unless you saw the still pictures. You could tell that it was Bronn. But people were upset. Why would D&D show Jaime looking like he's drowning in a deep lake river situation with his armor, with his lion-encrusted Lannister armor, only for the very next episode opening them to just be right on the beach, right on the sand.
He didn't even cough up like water. He wasn't, it wasn't like he was up there throwing water up. I mean, Euron was under the water for less time and coughed up more water than him. I mean, I don't understand it. It's just, it's impossible. I mean, this is the bottom line. This is not the real world. This is a fantasy world. All right. So maybe somehow that armor is lighter in the fantasy world than it is in real life. That's the only way I could really look at it, because in real life, you're a dead man. Dead man, dead. You're not floating down the river in full fucking plate, head to toe armor. The current ain't that strong. You would have to have motherfucking roaring rapids in that motherfucker to drag you all the way down as far as they was out down there. You know what I mean? So that's just how I felt. I'm not here to complain about the episode or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or this opening scene we're talking about. So as we see here, also we get something from Bronn here. We get Bronn saying that, listen, Jaime, you ain't allowed to die until I kill your ass and until you pay me my money. Is this some type of like this in between type situation with Jay and Braun? Could we see the end of that dynamic duo?
Yeah. The thing is, right? Jamie and Braun, like, this is equated to the drama of last season when Arya got stuck in the chest with a twist and turn by the faceless men, by the waif. People are upset about this scene. I'm not upset. We'll just slide by it. It is what it is. Because people, you got to understand, would you rather have 3 episodes of filler and it go a full 10 seasons? Or would you rather take the 7 seasons, no filler, getting to the point? Teflon, I think I know what you would take. I think I know what I would take. I would rather take the 7 seasons, getting to the point every week.
I really think that you can see from this season that the show needs to end. And I hate to say that, you know what I mean? I know people want to say they want to see 2 more seasons. You could see, I mean, you could tell from last season, really, to me, that it's run its course. It's been on for a long time. You know what I mean? This is a long run for a series. I mean, you look at the characters, Arya and Bran, where they started to what they look like right now. This series has been on a long motherfucking time. So, but you can definitely tell that we really do need to wrap this up with this season. And hopefully they start a new Game of Thrones show and, you know, with a different place in the books. I would love to see a, you know, Dance with Dragons or something like that. But I think these characters have run their course. I think, you know, from what I've seen on it, it's a done deal. You know what I mean? Especially the way they went with it. Now, if you did the whole Aegon thing and you brought that back and you brought the Blackfires in next season, then quite possibly I could see you extending it out. But you would have to really do a full 180, bring the whole Blackfire plot in and drag that whole season out into that. That's the only way I could see it extending. But just the basic storyline that it is right now, I think it's at a good spot for it to end.
And just to remind people in the chat, we all know that the leaked number 6 episode got exposed onto the interweb. We all know. Do not share any of the leaks or spoilers in the chat, guys. The episode has hit the web. We all know it. We all seen the articles today. Somebody leaked number 6 this week.
Yeah, it is what it is. Listen, if you put it out there, you say something, you're going to get blocked. That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? I got the wrenches out there right now. You know what I mean? The mafia is out there. The Teflon mafia is out there. You know what we do? We whack people. You're gonna get yourself whacked and you're gonna get yourself banned. So, you know, don't even do that. So, you know what I mean? Because once you do that, then you can't come back. And I'm not going through the settings to find you and put you back. So you gone, and that's it. So no need for none of that situation right there. So after that, we come to Randall Tarley's situation here. Now, I said in my thing, I had all my Easter egg video. That was the only thing I did get wrong. I got everything other thing I banged out the park. So check that out if you have not seen it yet. And I do have a new Easter egg video out there you can take a look at. It's out right now. Check it out. And so we see Randall Tarley, we see Dickon, we see Daenerys and Tyrion, and they're all lined up here. And Daenerys contradicts herself. She says, I'm not here to kill anybody, but bend the knee or I'm going to kill you. So, you know, very contradictory. How did you like Daenerys in this scene, Mo?
Man, you really could see what the show writers are trying to do by showing you the parallels between father and daughter, Mad King Aerys, Mad Queen Daenerys. Is Dany enjoying watching people burn? This is the question of the day, ladies and gentlemen, because D&D are really trying to stick this home. They're really trying to let the audience know that this woman is from a long line of people burners. She is from the Targaryen dynasty, and these people like to watch people burn. This is just their style. This is what they do. And Tyrion tried to be the long arm of the law. He tried to be, you know, Huckleberry out there. He tried to be Doc Holliday and put the law down in the OK Corral, and Dany wasn't having it. Dany told that dude to shut his mouth and let her burn dudes up, man. What did you think about that?
Yeah, listen, she's burning people. I'm not talking about STDs here, you know what I mean? She's burning motherfuckers the fuck up, you know what I mean? It's going down, and she no doubt likes to do it. I mean, and that's it. So we get to the part where Randall Tarley and Dickon, are burnt up. And do you think that she handled it right? Do you think that she should have burnt them up, or you thought she was wrong for doing that?
I personally believe that Tyrion's idea of letting them sit in a cell for a couple of days would have woke up the smartness in their brain cells and told them to bend the knee. They just got out of a war, man. They just got out of a major battle where their pride is wounded and they're from great houses, and they're not gonna bend the knee like some common fisher folk. All right, these are the Tarleys. They're not gonna just bend. They come from a proud house. Stick them in a cell. Stick Dick Hahn's dumbass in a cell for a little while. Tyrion had the right gist of it. I would have preferred Randall Tarley to go to the wall, but you know damn well why Randall Tarley didn't want to go to the wall. The son that he abused his whole life would have been probably in a freaking higher position of authority to slap his ass if he took him to the wall. So that's why Randall decided to die instead of having Sam telling him what to do, you know? So it is what it is. Danny, they're really trying to send it home to the audience that she is the Mad King's daughter, man. Even the eye movements. When she's watching them burn, you could see a little bit of enjoyment in her face.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at Randall Tarley's situation here, you know, he's a dummy. All right. He's a fool. He's an idiot, and he killed himself. Listen, there's a time. I know what pride is, you know what I mean? But there's a time when you got to fold those motherfuckers, right? There's a time when you got to say, it ain't worth me going out. If the dude got a pistol popped on you and he's holding a gun on you, it ain't time to say, because people are watching, let me go try to grab the gun. Just give the dude what he want. You know what I mean? You take that and live to fight another day. And that's the way you got to hold it down in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, if a motherfucker got a goddamn crocodile, to me, right? A crocodile and shit, I'm giving you what you want, let alone a goddamn dragon that breathes fire that you just seen take out your whole fucking army. She ain't asking you to bend that ass over. She just asking you to bend the motherfucking knee. But even if she did ask you to bend that ass over, that's something you got to consider in that fucking time. You know what I mean? You're in a situation here where it's going down. And you got to fucking look at what the situation is for you. You can't just go out like that, because once you're dead, you're dead. It's over. And that's it. And that's the way it ends for these motherfuckers. Motherfucking over. Stupidness for them to be the fuck over. There's no reason for them to have died in that situation. But that is the way those motherfuckers go out and shit.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, you're dying for Cersei. I mean, you're not dying for your house. You're dying because you became a traitor to your liege lords who were the Tyrells. You're now dying for Cersei. Are you going to die for Cersei, or are you going to, stay in a cell for a couple of weeks and chill for a little bit and then get your house back, Dickon? It was a dumb move.
It's got to be smart. She wants you to bend the knee. Bend the knee. Just bend the fucking knee, and then you can scheme behind her back. You can do a million things. You know why? Because you're alive. You have the option. Once you're dead, the options are gone. It's all off the table. You know what I mean? So it's just a stupid thing to commit suicide like that. Now someone else is going to be putting it to your wife in your castle while you're dead, and that's it. That's the way it is. You can't be stupid.
Oh, and Sam's getting the house. Sam's getting that house.
You know, I just say, I don't even. I think it's Sam. I think it's Gilly's son has to get it, because Sam is fucking Night's Watchman, right? So he said that's his bastard son. So I think it would have to go to Baby Monster.
Is the Night's Watch really gonna exist though at this point? Once the Night's King marches on the wall,
a lot of people will say, and we have a super chat here. We can get to you 1 second, sir. Thank you very much for this donation. But I know a lot of people. I hear say this shit all the time, and it kind of doesn't piss me off, but I don't understand them. At the end, they're like, oh, there's going to be no Iron Throne. There's going to be no nothing. So basically, There's going to be no wall. There's going to be no Iron Throne. All these castles that never got sacked before in the 2,000, 4,000 year history of this fucking world, all of a sudden get sacked. Everything is just gone. So everything that you liked about the book series at the end of this book series is going to be taken away. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense for it to go out like that and for this to take everything that we've grown to love away. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it can go down like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, John left the Night's Watch because he died. His watch has ended. I mean, is Sam's watch ended? Can Sam get about the Night's Watch? I don't know. I really don't know. But I think you're on to something here by saying that baby Tarly gets the house. I think that would be the way. Sam's mom is still alive. Maybe she does agree to let Sam's bastard baby get the house. I don't know.
His son. He's saying that's his son. She's not going to turn it away.
But he's a bastard son, though.
Don't matter. There's no one else there. There's no ruler of High Guard. There's no ruler of nothing. You know, in the end, I still got to see. I think when it all ends, we have to have these establishments because this is the world we love. We have to have a Night's Watch. We have to have people there. We have to have an Iron Throne, but I think it'll just be more inclusive. And you may get some more Dornish rules in Westeros. You may not have to, just may not be concerned about bastardy. That may all end and all that. It may be a different situation like that when it's all said and done. But let's take this super chat. What he says, what do you think about the look in Bran's eyes when he handed the dagger to Arya and they touched at the same time? He saw something. I was gonna do a video about this. Well, go ahead, Mo.
What was the question?
When Bran gave Arya the dagger.
What about it?
The look in Bran's eyes. Did you see something look in Bran's eyes? You know, he
absolutely. It was clear as day. Bran was with his eyes was basically saying, "Here, you're gonna need this very, very soon." Basically, he was looking at her like, I don't need this anymore, but I'm sure you will. You know, you could totally get that vision from Bran. Bran was just looking at the sword, playing around with it, and his eyes immediately fixated Arya, and he passes it over. You know, like when Olympic athletes are running in a racetrack and they pass the baton. It's exactly how it looked. Bran's just passing the baton, man.
He knows exactly what's going to happen. He sees the future. He sees the past. He knows all about it. He knows why he's put it in her hand. So I think when he put it in there, he just knows what's going to happen. And it shocked him for a second what's going to go down. But he knows he gave it to her knowing already what was going to happen before he gave it to her. He already knew the deal. That's why he gave it to her. That's why he accepted it, and that's why he said it doesn't need to be in the hands of a cripple, someone else who can use it. This is the person who's going to use it.
We need to drop that damn video, man, so we can get that knowledge because that shit is happening in about a week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think that Catspaw dagger is gonna be like Rhaegar's gift to like Lyanna for like their wedding present. They're gonna play some shit like that with it. It's something. It's in the book.
It's definitely Rhaegar's sword, in my opinion. It's definitely Rhaegar's sword.
You got a dragon bone hilt on the thing for a reason. You know what I mean? And I mean, only thing dragon bone does is can't burn and stuff like that. And there's a reason why they made that thing a dragon bone hilt. It's a Targaryen sword, it's a dagger. So I think they'll probably give it to Rhaegar, and maybe Rhaegar gives it to Lyanna for a wedding gift or something like that. That's how they'll plan it. But after that, you know, we go right to Daenerys here and Jon Snow meeting and Jon Snow with the dragon.
We get to Jon Snow and the dragon, the scene we've all been waiting for. We've been looking for dots. We've been looking for dots so we can dot the I's and curl the T's.
So this is going to be it, I hope, Mo, for all the R plus L equal J people who still want to say that's not what it is, even though we have more proof later on in the episode. But we're going to talk about that in a second. But this should be it. I'm done with this even being an argument anymore.
I'm so done with this. I mean, for anybody who doesn't see the light anymore, You know, we can't give you any more than that. Only God can open your eyes at this point. It's a wrap. They dropped 2 nuggets in this episode. We'll get to the second nugget later in this video, but this was the first nugget, and it wasn't just a regular nugget. It was a slam dunk. Drogon, the strongest of the 3 dragons, takes kindly to Jon Snow while Dany is on top of him, riding him like a horse. And not only that, Drogon tests him. He tests Jon by running towards him like a wildebeest running in the Sahara Desert with a lion behind him. And what does Jon do? Jon stands still. Give me your thoughts, Tef Guini.
No doubt, he definitely charged him like a motherfucking gorilla. You know what I mean? And Jon held his ground. We see Jon put out there, and we see that this dragon sniffing hard, smelling hard. You know what I mean? Smelling the Targaryen blood. Not only did he smell the Targaryen blood in this dude, but when Daenerys got off, he flew the fuck away saying, hey, I know that you're safe around this dude because of his Targaryen blood. Point blank, you know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is to me. This is what it was going to be. And I think it's proof in the end that Jon's going to be riding Drogo. At the end, it's gonna be Jon on that back of that dragon. That's Jon's dragon. It's not really Dany's dragon. In the end, Jon's going to be on that dragon. That's his dragon.
Before I start, people, we got 200 viewers in this chat. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We got 88 likes, 200 viewers. That numbers don't add up. Smash that damn like button, folks. Now let me get back to this scene. Goodness me. After all these years, I never believed it. I never wanted to believe it. You kept saying Jon is going to ride Drogon. I never wanted to believe it. I always thought it was still going to be Dany's. It was going to be Dany's dragon for life. They're bonded. Not after last week's episode do I believe that anymore. I'm definitely in the Tef Guini camp. That's Jon's dragon. Dany is just a placeholder at this point. Drogon was basically saying, get up on me, Big Daddy. Get up there. Is what he was saying with them sniffs.
No doubt. And it's better with Jon on the dragon's back with a sword fighting off a dragon back instead of Dany just flying around shooting stuff. I'd rather see someone with a sword. I want to see someone leap from a dragon's back with a sword and land on somebody else. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. They're not even showing us the other dragons at this point. You would have thought D&D would have shown us some glimpses of Rhaegal and Viserion around Tyrion, maybe, if Tyrion's going to be the 3rd head of the dragon. But we're getting nothing but Drogon this season, so that leads me to believe the Black Dragon will go to Jon, man.
No doubt about it. I can't see it going down any other way. Let's go right from Jon to Sam because it basically is the same situation. So we get a situation that probably you know what's going to happen. Sam's telling these cats the shit is real. No one's going to take Sam's advice for it. But I didn't think that that would be a reason enough for Sam to leave.
Cool.
Now he does.
If you talk about how Dany was looking at Jon when she was on top of Drogon, that basically opened her legs up. That was the end of it. That was a wrap. That's all Dany needed. After that, she was open.
Well, no doubt. Listen, when you go meet a chick with kids and the kids like you, you know you're getting it on that night. You know what I mean? That's a given. If you walk into a house and you meeting a chick and you meeting the kids for the first time and she just letting you over there and you get up over there and the kids run up on you and they playing on you, bouncing on your knee and everything else, and them kids go to bed, so do you. That's the bottom line, baby. So this is what we seen in that situation. So there's no doubt that was going on there, without a doubt.
They stuck so many scenes in this episode of Dany falling for Jon. They were beating us over the head with it. How many times she was Google-eyeing Jon in this episode. She was Google-eyeing Jon on top of Drogon. She was Google-eyeing Jon at the table, at the dinner table, at the Targaryen dinner table when they was all talking about going to go get the white across the wall. She was Google-eyeing this dude when they was leaving Westeros, when they was leaving Dragonstone.
This is stuff I told everybody here. I told y'all 4 years ago. Told you this. Go check the video. Check the published date. 4 years ago, I told you the deal. I told you about all these things that we are seeing right now. I done told you it was going to go down like that. I'm telling you, this chick is Nisa. I told you they were going to fall in love. People were like, oh, they don't have enough time to fall in love. Trust me, they're going to have them fall in love. And that's what it. If you want to consider making love, falling in love, and that's what show terms is, that's what it's going to be at this particular time when it becomes down. Don't think John ain't smashing that. It's definitely going down. This is what people want to see, and this is why they're going to do it. You got also, let's go here. Let's go to Gilly and Sam here. So Gilly's can't say it right. I can't pronounce the words right myself with these motherfucking names, so I know exactly how she feels. But Mo GD, what did Gilly say when she read that book?
First, she talked about how many steps were in the Great Sept of Baylor. It was about 15,527. Then she talked about how many windows were in the Citadel or something like that. And do you know why D&D threw that in there? Because they wanted to let you know that the maester who wrote this book took meticulous records. He wrote down everything. He even took how many shits and bow movements went on at the Citadel. Now, a guy who takes down every shit that happens in a building has got to have some sort of OCD.
Or it's a bad job.
Straight up. That means that maester read every scroll that hit the Citadel, wrote it all down, and then they tell you that this maester also wrote down an annulment between a Prince Rhaegar. Not a Rhaegar, but a Rhaegar.
Rhaegar.
You know what I mean? So basically D&D throwing it in there that this maester was meticulous. That leads you into the Prince Rhaegar. Sam completely doesn't hear it, doesn't acknowledge it like most of us men do when we're dealing with a female. Sometimes we don't listen. And that's another thing that we're trying to hit us over the head with. Sam completely, it goes over his head. He still thinks Gilly's talking about how many shits are at the Citadel. He completely skips over the annulment. We got an annulment, folks. We got another nugget, another slam dunk in the episode, just like the Jon and Drogon scene. What'd you think about that?
Now, people have said a long time, if Jon was, it doesn't matter if Rhaegar is his son, he still wouldn't be legitimate. He's not going to be legitimate. Rhaegar was already married. Check a video I did 4 years ago. It's called Jon Snow Sigil. And in this video I did 4 years ago, I told you, Jon Snow is known as a bastard. Everyone's called him bastard his whole life. His arc is not going to be, he's a great bastard. His arc's going to be, he was never a bastard at all. And this is the case. He's not a bastard. He never was a bastard. And that's what it is. That's what it's always been. And that's what I told you back in the day. So this is just what it is, people. This is not shocking to me. This is just what I knew it was going to be. So you know what I mean? When you look at the whole story, you just got to look at what makes best sense for the story. There's no reason and no way they were going to have Jon Snow be a great bastard. This makes no sense. He has to be the true-born son of Rhaegar Targaryen, making him the rightful king of Westeros. Period. Point blank. End of story. If you go by the lineage of the Targaryens being on the throne. Because as we know, they really have no claim to the throne because it was taken from them in conquest. So they have to take it back right now. Right now, it's the Lannisters' throne.
Lannister's throne under the guise of a Baratheon lineage by way of conquest by Robert Baratheon, taking the throne from the Targaryen dynasty, whose king was Mad King Aerys, the father of Rhaegar and Dany. Rhaegar being the crown prince. Rhaegar then leaving Elia Martell, with an annulment and marrying supposedly Lyanna Stark in a secret ceremony, which then produces an heir, another heir, because his other two children are dead, the children he had with Elia Martell. That would make Jon Snow the rightful heir, not Dany, because the line goes through Mad King Aerys and his crown prince. That's basically what it is. Dany could take the throne by conquest, take it back the way that Robert Baratheon took it from them. But if you go by all the laws of the land, he would be the crown prince. But it's not theirs anymore, so I don't know how that would work. The throne's not theirs anymore. The Baratheons took it by conquest. So we're going to have a bit of a problem here, and I see that the reason D&D put this in is so that Dany and Jon will have problems in the future. Do you agree with that or not, Tef Queen?
Well, Dany and Jon have problems in the future. I don't know. It's quite possible that they could. Don't know if they would show anything like that in the show because they still want Jon Snow to be the hero and that you have her as the heroine. His drug. Right? So I don't know if they're really going to go that route in the show with this. In the books, you see it going down because you have more time, you know what I mean? But we could see what it is. It seems like we got a lot of people. Thank you to the Chat God Mafia for whacking the trolls out of there. You get, I really do appreciate it, and I without a doubt. So let's talk about Tyrion's plan, because Tyrion has a plan. He comes up with this plan. He wants to go to King's Landing. This is the first part of his plan. What did you think about this part?
Which part was that?
Tyrion's plan to go to King's Landing.
The plan at the dinner table, I'm going to call it the dinner table because that's how it looked to me. We got Davos here. We got freshly introduced Jorah here with Jon. And I like this scene, man. I like the idea. This is basically a recooked idea from season 1 and book 1 of Game of Thrones, where Jeor Mormont, Lord Commander, God rest his soul, R.I.P., Jeor Mormont, father of Jorah Mormont, took the hand of a white that was inside Castle Black and gave it to Alistair Thorne to lay upon the feet of the boy king, Joffrey Baratheon. We never got to see this in the show. We only saw the Lord Commander Jeor Mormont talk about it in passing with Jon in season 1. In the books, ladies and gentlemen, Alistair Thorne took this hand, this white hand of a white half hand, like from the Addams Family. You remember it. You remember how its hand was. He took a demonic necromancer's half hand in a bottle, and he took it all the way to King's Landing. And by the time Alistair Thorne laid it at the feet of Joffrey Baratheon, the hand had withered away and decomposited. What do you call that when the body decomposes? Decomposed. Exactly, it decomposed. So I'm thinking if it happened back then, won't the body of a white decompose again if Jon and them try to take a full body to Cersei again? I don't know.
It's all about what you gotta look at with the powers that we have seen in the show and how these things are being done and how everything is. You know what I mean? We look at the powers in the show that have been brought forth. What do we see? We have seen warging ability. That's basically what it is. You know what I mean? I think it was most likely warging situation. And that is the powers that we have seen. So we had to think that these whites, when we see the White Knight's King raise his arms and they all of a sudden they open their eyes, I have to think that he is doing some warging type ability to them. So I think it would be more a situation like that, more of the warger, you know what I mean, or who's doing the warging that you'd have to deal with when it comes down with that. I think that when you took the hand off the whole body, that's what happened. But if you kept the body intact, possibly it would have been able to make it down to King's Landing. What's that? But the hand was separated from the body, which makes no sense, I know, because obviously the blood wouldn't matter, but maybe some type of warging situation, because if the person is being warged, the hand is off the body, that warger can't control the hand. It just naturally goes the way it would go and stuff.
The moment I heard of the plan, I'm going to call it the Georg Mormont plan. The moment I heard the Georg plan, I said, whoever goes with Jon up there, they're going to bring back as a white. Somebody's going to die in Jon's camp, and they're going to bring them back as the white. So we saw the Magnificent Seven go on the trip. One of them is coming back as a white, ladies and gentlemen. Either Gendry's coming back as a white, either Jorah's coming back as a white, either the Hound, either Beric Dondarrion, or either Thoros Amir. One of them fellas is coming back as a white. I don't think that Tormund or Davos will die. So those three, Jon, Davos, Tormund, they're good. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them. But one of the four is coming back as a white, and they're gonna have a whole plot of looking at them like, oh my God, I can't believe Jorah's a white. This man just got grayscale and now he's a white. What do you think?
A lot of these people gotta die. I mean, people going on this trip and they come back with no one's dead, there's something wrong. And there's something real wrong. I expect a lot of people to die, and a lot of people better die when this goes down. I can't see it going down any other way. So then after this, I think it's a foolish idea by Tyrion. I didn't think it'd be Tyrion that came up with the idea, but I think it's a foolish move for him to even come up with this. Tyrion hasn't had really a good idea since he's been on Dany's side. He really hasn't come through for her at all. This guy who's supposed to be so smart, because he goes down to King's Landing, and we see exactly what happened when he goes down there and he meets with his brother and does and Bronn, and we see how Gendry come back into play.
Oh yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about this. When you said the part with Tyrion in Dragonstone, I thought we were talking about the part where they all decide to go get the white, but yeah, it all intertwines. It all intertwines.
It's a two-parter. He made both plans up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Finally Davos is useful, more useful than just being a talking head, ladies and gentlemen. Now we get to see what Davos really does. We get to see Davos's maneuvering. He shakes and moves. He's a smuggler. He's a pirate. He'll get your ass in anywhere you want through the back door. And this is what they needed Davos for. And Davos did the deed. He got them to King's Landing without being seen, whatever it may be. And bada bing, bada boom. And then they got to deal with these dumbass gold cloaks that are greedy. These dudes, Davos gave them 15 apiece.
15 gold dragons is a lot of fucking money.
15 a piece, man. Greedy motherfuckers.
That's a lot of money, because they're saying like one gold dragon when you're dealing with the pig boy. He was saying one gold dragon and something he couldn't earn his whole fucking lifetime basically, and they gave him 15 fucking gold dragons
a piece. A piece. And you're supposed to take that and run and go home and tell the wife and kids, go get you a hooker for the night, for the weekend, and go do your thing. But these motherfuckers want more. They want more, more, more. What's in the boat, man? What's in the back, man? And then Davos gives them the old spiel. Davos sends them on their merry way, making them feel all happy about the crab cakes. And then by bad luck, Tyrion shows up at the exact same time. Now let's talk about the scene with Jaime, Bronn, and Tyrion first.
Yeah, did you? I mean, it was all right seeing good seeing Tyrion back with Jaime. I figured they go. I didn't think they go into depth of all the stuff that they would talk about, but they did get into a little bit of details of the things they were talking about, why they were angry with each other and everything else. But you know, I'm not, as always, I'm not really a big, huge Jaime Lannister fan. We've seen the thing that's the best part about it, the whole thing to me, is that how Cersei Lannister told us, like, listen, you think you doing stuff that I don't know what you doing? I know everything. I'm the fucking queen, and you best never betray me ever again. Ever. We could see the breakdown between Cersei and Jaime, and you know, just like the Starks, you have to go by the Starks model that we hear in this season that we heard in the trailer. As long as you go by that, when the cold winds blow and the snow goes, whatever it is, the lone wolf dies and the pack survives. That means everybody in the show you could look at like that. And when you see families splitting apart, that means they're becoming lone wolves, and that means they're going to die. And you can see this, and that's going to be the downfall of House Lannister. Go ahead.
I could just imagine that Qyburn's little birds are all over the city like fucking mines, man. All over the city like proximity mines in GoldenEye 007. You step on one of them joints, your whole conversation's going to be learned. And I feel like all of Qyburn's little birds look like miniature Peter Baelishes, the way Peter Baelish was looking at Arya later in this episode. Like a bunch of creeps sitting in the shadows, listening to every damn thing. Cersei was like, you think there's anything in this city of importance without me knowing? That's nasty, man. That's nasty. I thought Cersei would slip on this one. I thought that the Tyrion secret meeting wouldn't be seen. And you could see how emotional Jaime got. Jaime was so emotional looking at Tyrion when they was talking about their father. And Tyrion's like, what did you want me to do? Did you think I wanted to be born this way? And Jaime's like, what do you want? And it was so emotional. It was such good acting in this scene. Such good acting, man, by both actors. They really had me going. And then, you know, they got to the point. They did their business. And Jaime was the only one who could take Cersei this information. Tyrion told her that Dany doesn't want to fight. She wants a truce. She wants an armistice. There's bigger fish to fry, and it's the Night's King. And this will be Cersei's undoing, I predict, if she doesn't take the advice from Jaime. And then this girl, Cersei, in my opinion, lied about the pregnancy. I think it's a lie. This will be the question of the episode. I want y'all, after this episode's done, in the chat, let us know. Is it a real pregnancy or a fake pregnancy by Cersei? Tough Queenie, what do you think?
Oh, she is trying to pull a fast one on Jaime with the baby, and it's really not a baby. That would be horrible. If she has to get a pillow and hold it underneath her belly, that would be horrible if she rolls that. So definitely put that in the comment section and let me know what you're thinking about that. Is Cersei really pregnant or is she just bluffing? Do we have to get Maury Povich on the scene to figure this one out? Is that what is going on that situation? We shall see. Also, I'd like to say real quick, for the season finale in a couple of weeks, Game of Thrones, and not final, but almost final, that I'll be doing something in Brooklyn with the people from the Game of Owns, the people who set up the convention. I'll give you more information on that next week and let you know exactly what's going on. $5 emoji for Tyrion's impersonation from Peach. Thank you very much, Peach. You really do appreciate that. You know what I mean? Definitely do appreciate that. Yeah, Tyrion was acting like a little bitch. He was, he's putting all of his emotions out there about his childhood, trying to make Jaime feel sorry for him and all this other stuff. I wasn't buying it myself, but I understand what the guy was trying to do, but he just came across wrong to me. You know what I mean? I didn't like the way it went down. And then that damn Warhammer for Gendry was definitely impressive.
And if she is pregnant, I don't think she's the father. I don't think Jaime's the father. All right? In the books, Cersei, later in the books, got her legs wide open for every king's guard she can find. She doing it with the Kettle Blacks behind Jaime's back. They don't got the Kettle Blacks in the television show, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if they made Bronn a Kettle Black-like character on the show and had him in between Cersei's legs.
No doubt, my Versace hottie. Come to find out that you was fucking everybody. You knew about me, the fake ID. Cases in Virginia, body in D.C. Oh, it's me. That's enough. But that's what you gotta say. You know what I mean? You know what it is. What you say, what you say. What you say, what you say. Straight up, you know what I mean? So that's how it basically went down in King's Landing. I guess we could circle back up to the north. What did you think about this going on in the north?
First, I'd like to say I love the Gendry scenes. Love them bringing him back. It was such fan service to include Davos saying, "Your arms got bigger. Looks like you've been rowing for a while." Such a fan service line.
That cut looked weird to me, though. It looked like he has a bowl cut. The cut throw you off. I mean, it just didn't look right. Something was off with his cut. There was something wrong about it.
It looked way shorter than it did when he left in season.
It's no something with the shape up about it. Even if you have a short hairstyle, it's cool, but there was something wrong about the haircut. It just looked off to me.
I think it's because we haven't seen him in a while, and he's gotten skinnier. It's the thing is, in season 3 and season 2, when Arya and him are moving together, with what was that Night's Watchman's name that helped her in season 2 or season 1, man?
That was the guy who came down from the wall to get the prisoners.
Yes, the guy who I forgot his name. You guys tell us in the chat the name of the Night's Watch guy who helped Arya and Gendry. When Gendry was with them, he was bigger. His arms were much bigger. He looked like
Yorin in the chat from Tabitha Warren says Yorin.
Urine, yes, it was urine, and not Euron, but urine, yes. And yeah, and his arms looked much bigger back in season 1 and season 2. I just think Gendry didn't get swole for this season like he did back in season 1, and that's what's throwing us off. He didn't look like Robert Baratheon's son this season. He wasn't showing the arms off. He wasn't showing the gun show off like he did in season 1.
Sometimes, you know, maybe he was bigger because everyone else around him was smaller, and now that everyone else is caught up, he just didn't get any bigger in the situation. But he definitely looked like he wasn't on as swole for this role. He looked like he should have did a couple of cycles and got back in the game. You know what I mean? But, you know, it was definitely fan service, without a doubt. And I'm sure, you know, I didn't mind seeing the kid. But, you know, listen, when they bring people back, people don't seem to survive. So I don't like his chances of making it out, in all honesty. He
might be the white that John brings back from the ranging expedition. I'm trying to tell you, folks, they brought Gendry back just for fan service, just so they can throw him into the pit, just so they can make him a white. And it'll be heartfelt because they all D&D knew everybody would cry if Hodor was going to be brought back as a white this season. That's what everybody thought. Hodor's going to be a white, guys. Oh my God, we're going to see Hodor. No, D&D said no. Hodor's too much of a beloved character. I'm gonna make it Gendry for y'all.
It's quite positive. Listen, that would be a shocking motherfucking thing if we see something like that, Mojini. Let everyone know Mojini called it if it definitely does go down like that. You know what I'm saying? If it is like that. So we shall see exactly what it be, man, how it goes after that. Yeah, we're going to the north. What do you think about the north, homie?
All right, the north scenes. When we see the Brotherhood without banners, this was cool. Basically, this scene here showed us why the Brotherhood without banners were brought back. The Brotherhood was brought back so they could be on a ranging expedition with Jon Snow. We all knew that Beric Dondarrion is going to get sacrificed this season because Beric Dondarrion told the Hound earlier in episode 1 or 2 when they were looking at the fire that he has a greater purpose. And they didn't know what Beric's greater purpose is, why the Lord of Light keeps bringing him back to life. But now we know, or we will know in episode 6, because more than likely he will die saving Jon's life. Do you agree with this, Tap Queenie?
I think it has to go out like that. I can't see it going out any other way. I think that's what his purpose would be. If the Lord of Light, that's why he's been focusing so much, why he's there. But I would think that would be the reason why the Lord of Light would keep him alive if somehow he has to do it. And I think that we haven't seen the Kiss of Life. I think we do have to see it. That's the only way we haven't seen any resurrection done yet. So I think that quite possibly he could do the resurrection. The Kiss of Life spell can go down with him in it.
Most dubitably. For surely. That's happening. We all know it. Beric Dondarrion is there to be sacrificed. We just don't know what type of sacrifice. I don't think he will be the one that will be brought back as a white. We just think that it'll work out where he saves Jon Snow's life. We already see in the episode 6 predictions or the little trailer that Jon and the others are running away. And then we see that the Hound is holding Gendry's hammer. Well, what happened to Gendry, folks, if the Hound is using his hammer? So there's a lot of things, man, for next episode.
It could be the end of Gendry. It looks like it's going to be the end of him. That's what it looks like to me. I just don't see it. Haven't seen anyone else come back and survive, so why would he be any different? What do you feel about the Arya-Sansa dynamic?
Now, this scene here got a rise out of me because I just didn't like how the baby sister talking to the older sister, who's now the Queen of Winterfell now. You know, I just didn't like it. She's disrespecting. She's not putting respect on Sansa's name. And the reason Arya's not putting respect on Sansa's name is because Arya still thinks that Sansa's that little, you know, that little petulant brat from season 1 that she left. Because that's the last time she's seen her. She doesn't know that Sansa's been raped by Ramsay Bolton. She doesn't know what the hell happened to Sansa in King's Landing. She doesn't know that Sansa almost got raped by a bunch of commoners during one of Joffrey's events by one of those common folks at King's Landing, and then the Hound had to save her. Arya doesn't know about all the things that's happened to Sansa. She still thinks Sansa's that little girl from season 1. And it's not right, you know. And I'm just waiting for Sansa to put Arya in her place and be like, little girl, do you know that Ramsay Bolton took me on my wedding night and he didn't even wait 2 seconds to do it? And he made Theon watch as he took me on my wedding night? You little brat. I'm waiting for her to backslap her one time.
No doubt. We got a super chat from Timo. Don't let Thrones volume. I drink alone, take a shot. God damn it. I will take that shot, no doubt about it for you. Really do appreciate it. Hold that down, Mo, while I grab this shot glass and fill up this cup.
For sure. And in this scene, you know, Arya sees that Lord Glover and Bronze Jan Royce are scheming a little bit. And Arya can basically put 2 and 2 together. These 2 lords are trying to cut the head off the snake. They're trying to get rid of Jon. As quick as they bent the knee to Jon, they're trying to bend the knee to Sansa within a couple weeks. Ain't that a damn shame?
And these are some snaky ass lords, some snake back, snake bit ass lords. You know, when the grass is cut, the snakes will fucking show. You know what I mean? And you can see there's no loyalty anywhere. People go on vacation. Motherfuckers scheming on your shit. This is when you go away. I guess that's why they say that always has to be a Stark in Winterfell. Because shit, if there ain't, if they weren't there, Sansa wasn't there, someone would have already took over Winterfell. So I guess that's what it means. There must always be a Stark in Winterfell. I think that's what it truly means. Saloon.
This is the thing. You think when Jon gets back, he's going to cut the head off the snake and get rid of Lord Glover? This is a northern lord in his midst. That's scheming behind his back to put his sister on the throne. I don't care about Bronze Jan. Jon doesn't care about Bronze Jan. That's an outsider. That's a minor lord from the Vale. I'm talking about Lord Glover with 500 men, who's part of the North, who saw Jon cut down Ramsay Bolton and saw Jon Snow be crowned King of the North. Is he gonna come back home? Is Jon gonna come back and cut the head off the snake, man?
I don't know if it's going to be an issue like that. Hopefully these ladies play it out. I really think that it's game. I really hope that it's game. If it's not game and they really do have some deception, I think if they're allowing Peter Baelish to come in between them, this is why did we see everything we've seen from Sansa and Peter Baelish if that's the case? Why do we see all we've always seen was more of the same? When we thought Sansa, when she came down the steps in a Maleficent outfit, we said this is the time for Sansa to shine. She goes out there and she gets raped by Ramsay Bolton and beaten down again and having to escape. It would be the same exact situation going on right now if that happened.
This is the thing. I always thought that Sansa and Arya are playing Peter Baelish. They're going to play him by setting a trap. The trap is going to be wink, wink. Wink, wink, little sister. Me and you are going to pretend that we're fighting, and we're going to pretend we're having animosity together. And while we weave this web of lies for Peter Baelish to fall into like a fly, we will pretend that we are fighting, and at the end, the spider will eat the fly. But it looks like Peter Baelish is playing them. It looks like Peter Baelish is setting the trap for them. We saw him lay the trap for Arya to walk in, to watch him talking to one of Sansa's ladies in waiting at the floor. She saw Peter Baelish give that lady in waiting a coin. Then we see Peter Baelish talking to Glover and Bronze Young. And then we see Maester Walken giving a scroll to Baelish in his bedroom. Baelish sets the trap. Arya goes in. Arya finds said scroll. Said scroll says Sansa was forced by Cersei to write this letter, but Arya doesn't know that. Said Peter Baelish is caught looking like a creep pedophile in the corner. What do you think, man? Are Sansa and Arya the ones playing Baelish?
It has to go down like that. If it doesn't, then there's no reason to have them do all this training. She's a goddamn faceless man. A fucking faceless man. If you put Jack and Hagar in that position, you think that Peter Baelish could manipulate Jack and Hagar? I don't think so. I don't think he could do it. This is what she's supposed to be right now. So it'd be some bullshit if he was able to. She's supposed to be able to see through lies and everything else. That was a whole training thing with the wave, seeing through people's lives. So she should be able to get through this. So it has no choice but to be game. If it's not game, then there's a problem with the show.
Why the hell was she in Bravos all last year, taking the twist and turn dagger in the stomach, almost drowning, doing all that, if she didn't learn how to be a faceless man? The only thing we've seen Arya learn now is how to take people's faces. These people are supposed to be the greatest assassins in Westeros. They're not supposed to be trapped like this by Peter Baelish. They're not supposed to be trapped. They're supposed to be like ninjas, cloaked in the dark, tiptoeing in the dark, maneuvering in the dark. You know what I mean? Not supposed to let nobody see them. But Peter Baelish definitely saw. Peter Baelish knew she was following him from the jump. From the jump.
No doubt. And that's why I think she's got to know that he knows that. That has to be the play here. It has to go out that way. If it doesn't go out that way and they have her just like falling into this motherfucker's trap, that's some bullshit. That's just some straight bullshit. Without a doubt.
Straight up. And we all along said that Littlefinger and Sansa and Arya are playing Littlefinger. Sansa, and I heard a very good theory this week. What if the lady in waiting that Peter Baelish gave that coin to is really Sansa's spy, man? What if that's Sansa's spy in Winterfell? Don't you think Sansa would have her own little birds inside Winterfell? You don't think she learned something when she went to King's Landing to learn to have your own spies in your own house?
No doubt. She should definitely have spies or something I didn't think about, but she should. If she learned from Littlefinger, she should have her own type of little birds in there, and that girl should be one of her spies, without a doubt. This is her home. There's no way she shouldn't have the upper hand when Littlefinger's on the road. You know, he's on the road. This is Sansa's home. She got home field advantage. He shouldn't be able to get over on her in her own home. No way.
With her own ladies in waiting. with her own ladies in waiting.
Yeah, this is not like we're talking about Podrick piping these bitches down. This is Littlefinger. You know what I mean? Come on. There's no way it should go down like that.
Absolutely not. Even Maester Walken should be giving Sansa a message, like little messages here and there, letting them know, oh, I just get. Is Maester Walken in on this? Maester Walken gave him the scroll, the only scroll in Winterfell, because Maester Lewin took meticulous notes and he wrote down everything. And when that letter from Sansa came from King's Landing, Maester Lewin kept everything. He didn't throw away none of the scrolls. So Maester Walken knows that now, and he let Littlefinger know that 2 episodes ago.
How's that going to be a problem? Everyone's got to know she wrote that letter under duress. No one's going to think that she wrote that letter freely. How could anyone think that? It's impossible. I can't see how anyone that the letter's going to be that huge of a factor to the point where it's going to be like that, like it would get her killed or something. How could it be?
Well, Arya, though, do you think Arya will believe she was under duress when she wrote this?
Why not? I mean, she's being held captive in in King's Landing.
And this is after their father died.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was after he died, because it was a letter for Robb to come bend the knee.
Yeah. So that gives me hope that they're playing Littlefinger and Maester Walken is in on it. That might help to know that Maester Walken let Sansa know that this letter is what I gave Littlefinger. He wanted to see the letter that you wrote when you were under duress in King's Landing. And Maester Walken let Sansa know that. So that's how Sansa plays Littlefinger, man.
For me, I think it's got to go like that because, listen, in all honesty, we haven't really had that many deaths this season. Not no major deaths that I could really think of off a hand. So it's been a really lame season when it comes to that. So some people got to get whacked off. You know what I mean? Someone big's got to go, man. And the only big person I could see going is really Littlefinger. I don't know how he's lasted this fucking long, but it is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just hope that they don't just give Littlefinger this one-upsmanship again at the end of this season. It's a bit ridiculous to think that Littlefinger in a matter of weeks or a month would take over all the spies in Winterfell and manipulate the lords and ladies in their own house. I think that's a bit outlandish, a bit ridiculous. I don't care how many times Littlefinger will hide in the shadows. You just don't accumulate all the spies in Winterfell in that short amount of time. He didn't bring that many, new people into Winterfell, so there's not new spies he could use. He would have had to use the ladies in waiting of Winterfell as his spy recruits. So I hope this don't play down. What's the next scene, man?
No, I think we're almost through it. I don't know if there is any other scene actually.
The last scene of the episode was
them going up to the wall, walking through the wall, right?
Oh yeah. If we missed anything, let us know in the chat, guys. Did we miss any scenes?
I don't think so. I think that's what it is, man.
Okay, let's give our predictions. For the next, any major prediction or whatever, however you want to,
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: next episode, you better come hard with this battle with the White Walkers. I better see an epic battle with White Walkers, and I don't want to see no fucking 3-minute fucking battle. I don't want to see no bullshit here. I want to see an epic battle of the bastards type battle with the White Walkers next episode. Period. Anything else that happens, I don't really care. That's what I want to see next episode. What about you?
I really, really, really want to know what shakes out in King's Landing. I want to know what Cersei and Jaime got cooking up there, what they're thinking is going to happen, because they got to know that they can't win in a formal war or fight against Dany and her forces. So I want to know, do they really think they can trick Dany if they agree to this peace treaty or whatever is going on? And then obviously I want to know what the hell happens in the north, in the lands of always winter across the wall, because that's the big sneak for this next episode. There's only 2 episodes left, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
We're at the point of the big battle at this point.
That's right. It
The
better
big
be.
battle is here.
It better fucking be. Let's take a couple of questions. We got some questions we can answer before we call it a night. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. You know, I would definitely do. You know me like a 3-hour situation with y'all. You know what I mean? But I can't. I got places to go and stuff in the morning, so I can't. I have to be out of here. I can't chill all night. But I wish I could. I really do. You know what I mean? Without a doubt, I wish I could. But we have any questions out there, Mojini, that we can answer for the people real quick before we bounce up out of this piece?
I didn't see any Q&As today, but if y'all would like us to answer anything, drop it down in the chat. Remember, when this video is done and goes up, let us know in the chat. Come back, reload the video on YouTube. Let us know in the chat. The question of the day is, do you think Cersei's pregnant is real or not? And if you think it's real, do you think Jaime's the baby daddy? Because I really don't. I really don't. I don't see anything right now. We got something here from Salas Muscle.
All right.
Q&A. All right. They ask, are they ever going to show Howland Reed in the episode?
I can't see it now. I think it's done deal right now with Howland Reed. Unfortunately, I think Howland Reed is going the way of Lady Stoneheart.
Yep, I do not think they're going to show him. They had the chance to show him when Mira went back home in episode 1 or 2. They could have brought Howland Reed to Winterfell to pick up Mira. They could have had a big scene in the Hall of Winterfell with Howland Reed being a guest of honor to come pick up Mira when Mira was going home, and they didn't do it, guys. So that lets you know Howland Reed will not play a big part in this series. That means that Bran will be the one to let Jon know of his heritage. What do you think, Tef Queenie?
No doubt. I would have to think it's going to be Bran here. No other person to do it. I don't know how that's going to work with the High Lords, but you know, Sam has paperwork right there saying that that Rhaegar has a son. So I think that's the way it's going to go between Bran and Sam. There's no other way. So also know the finale of Game of Thrones. If you happen to be in New York, you happen to be by the Brooklyn area, Tony Teflon and Don will be there live. The people from Game of Owns, the people who ran the convention Kind of Thrones, they are putting this together. I'm sure they have information. Please check with them. Please go on and check out Game of Owns podcast. I'm sure they have already talked about it. For the Don, Tony Teflon, obviously, if it's in New York, you know this is my state. I run this state. This is what it is. You know I will be there. Hopefully, I get my man Don Willie show up there with me and stuff like that. But definitely, the Don Tony Teflon be up in the place in Brooklyn. So come on out, watch the final episode of Game of Thrones with us out there. And I think there will be like a live podcast or something like that after. So, but I'm not sure. I'll talk more about it to them later, and I'll give you details about that in different video.
All right, next question we got from Matthew Mossman. Shout out to Matthew. Over under on how many characters returned from the wall?
I would think, how many are going up there?
7, the Magnificent 7.
I would say 4. It should be the over under.
I would say 6. I'd say 6. Yeah. I'm not gonna say more than 2 people are dying. I think if they kill more than 2, that would be getting into killing off major minor characters. Killing off Beric and Thoros wouldn't care. Killing off Gendry wouldn't care. But if you get past that to 4, that means you'll be killing another 2, which means Jorah the Explorer or the Hound would exit too. I think
4 people gotta die. I think 4 people gotta die. You gotta have 4 people die. 4 people don't die, then this is not these White Walkers ain't that much of a threat. You gotta have 4 people die doing this mission. It's gotta be worth something. I need 4 of them to go.
That'd be major. I mean, I predict that one of them will be the White that gets brought back to King's Landing. I mean, do they really need more than 1 to die? Maybe, maybe not. But we know that Beric is dying because he's going to sacrifice his sword. You saw that major lightsaber sword situation with Beric in the trailers. They've been showing it everywhere. You see his sword light up. He says that sword is Lightbringer. So you know he's dying and he's going to die saving Jon Snow. So you know he's donezo. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to see more than 2 people die.
No, I think it's got to be at least 4. But all right, so one more question if you got it, Mo, then I got to bounce up out this piece.
Got you. We got one here from Common Sense TV. Does Braun live to the end of the season after Cersei asked Jaime about his punishment? And if he does, you think he goes to the Twins?
I had predicted the death of Braun for 4 seasons in a row, and I've been wrong all 4 seasons, so why stop now? Yes, Braun dies before the season is over. So take that for what it's worth.
I have been never predicting Braun's death because this man is the untouchable man. He's untouchable. Braun is just the guy that never goes away. He's that drunk uncle at the party that stays long after everybody else has left. And that's what it is. I mean, if you think Braun's dying, you're tripping. And this guy's going to be there to the end. His ass might be Azor Ahai at the end of this damn story, as long as his ass has been around.
This motherfucker's got some dirt on Dan and Dave. He's got something. He's seen them sniffing coke off a prostitute's butt. I don't know, but he's got something going on there that he stays alive. They will not get. He's baby kids. This motherfucker don't die. He multiplies, and that's what it is. So I got to get up out of here. As always, Mo Genie, let the people know where they can find you.
You guys know where you can find me. I'm putting my link of my channel right now in the live chat. Holla at your boy. It's Mo Genie, folks.
No doubt. Thank you to everybody in the live motherfucking chat holding it down. And if you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace! And stay sexy.